Welcome back to Let's Play Higurashi, Minagoroshi. You know what? Before we proceed, let me just check something here. Yeah, it's recording the right thing. Always have to double check. You know what? There was like... I can't remember what I was gonna say, honestly. I remember the other day, I was like... Well, not the other day, it was technically yesterday, last night, when I uploaded the previous part. I thought of something, I was like, oh, I gotta mention that, say that in the next recording. I can't remember what it was. But one other thing was, a while ago, I was just like, you know, just going through YouTube, you know, just watching videos and shit like that. And then, like, as you know, on the home page where they show, like, recommendation videos, and I was like, what? Higurashi trailer 2020, and I was like, what? And I only, like, looked into it, just the bare minimum, pretty much. Just a simple Google search. And you know how you can hover over videos, and, like, it plays, like, bits of the video, but without sound? That's pretty much what I did there. I was like, looked over the Higurashi trailer, and was like, so, from what I can gather, they're doing another Higurashi anime adaptation. Just kinda neat. I mean, why not, I guess. I don't know why. That is, assuming that's actually what's going on there. I didn't really look into it too much, though. Hopefully, mention it doesn't end up being like that one time years ago with Little Busters, when I mentioned the anime adaptation, and it apparently was before it got officially announced, and it was like, BAM! Copyright strike, and I was like, no. But from what I could tell from the Higurashi thing, it's been going back a few months, that has. I just never really noticed, I didn't really pay attention. So, we're pretty much at the end of, this arc, really. You know? More or less, because, we're entering the, Actually, let me just check here. We've got 11 of 14 achievements, so it's obviously not got that long left. Also, how long total time have I played? 20 hours, apparently. And, what's the average? I'm surprised, but Onikakushi was only 19 hours long. 24 hours long for Watanagashi. 24 hours for Tarigoroshi. Only 14 hours for Himatsubushi, but that one was a very short one. 20 hours for Minagoroshi. And 27 hours for the previous arcs in Minagoroshi. So, with that, it's probably, there's a few hours left of story here. But anyway, let's actually freaking get on with it. Sleep. That's the end of my story. As I thought, everyone was staring at me with their mouths open in shock. The other thing I was probably gonna mention was to do with, you know, the, all the shit she explained about Hinamizawa syndrome, but I can't remember what I was gonna say about it. It was like, oh, yeah, that'd be something to say. I can't remember what it was. It bugs me. And I just know I'd probably be editing the video and I'd be like, damn, now I remember what I was gonna talk about. Even though I wish you wouldn't believe a story like this. That's only normal. I'm sure I sound like a crazy person. Satoko, we go to the clinic every week to help with Irie's research, right? We're actually not just helping him. I wonder if the fan is picking up on the microphone because it's like directly like right in range here. We go there so you can get treatment. I remember you told me that Satoko was ill. Me? Oh, as you said, it's not only me, but the whole village that is infected with the disease. Why would I have to take the shot every day and not everyone else? I thought it was just a new type of vitamin that the coach is developing. At one point you were a terminal patient, Satoko. That's why you need 2 shots every day to keep your symptoms under control. Irie is very passionate about saving you, but he still can't find a better treatment than that. Don't think he's not still working hard to find a cure, though. Don't you joke around. I thought we were getting financial support by aiding his research. I don't want to get those shots every day for the rest of my life. Satoko looked upset that she had been completely ignorant of all this. She also didn't want to accept the reality of having to manage her condition. A fake laughter sadly echoed in everyone's ears. Keiichi opened his mouth to speak. So, if she misses her shot, she'll act like she did the other day. There was a day where she forgot to take her shot. You know, that's really like, even if they, didn't believe what Rika had to say there, from the experience with how Satoko reacted, they pretty much got an example right there of how the disease can affect a person if not treated. There was a day when she forgot to take her shots. She convinced herself that the principal was her uncle. Her fear escalated and she thought her uncle came inside the school to take her back home. Once she feels that way, there's no turning back for her. Yes, she will. That's why I tell her to be sure to take her shot every day. I don't believe you. What do you mean I'm a terminal patient? Why me exactly? I refuse to believe it. When did I ever become so sick? Satoko's face contorted as tears began to flow from her eyes. I shouldn't have said this. Satoko's starting to remember something she's not supposed to. Yeah. I'm sorry, Satoko. You don't have to remember. That was just an accident. It wasn't your fault. No, this is a lie! You're just lying to us! The others probably had no idea what Satoko was talking about. I know what she's talking about. But come to think of it, have they ever explained that yet? Maybe Rika will point it out. They don't need to know. They don't want to know about it. Because they're her friends. Oh, come on, Rika, fill in the details, please. I can't just outright say what it is when, because it would be a spoiler. I've got to wait until the story explains it before I can start talking about it, like parts of the plot like that, Rena gently touched Satoko's shoulder. She gently touched mine too. We believe your story, Rika-chan. Thank you. And you've been carrying such a heavy burden for a long time. I'm proud of you. You've been struggling all alone to this day. I never thought Rena would say something like that to me. My eyes were filling up with tears. It's difficult to have a secret that you can't tell people. Mine was hardly a big deal compared to yours. But I can still sympathize with you. I agree, you've done your best too, sis. I often shift the blame onto you to relieve myself, so I can tell. You're all going to believe my story. Of course. We said we'd believe you. It's a bit of a relief since a lot of my questions about this village are answered now. I wonder if she... Well, she probably didn't specifically mention it. Oh yeah, Keiichi, back in the Onikakushi arc, back in that world. The reason you went crazy, started to go crazy, is because you left town for a funeral and came back, and because of that, the Hinamizawa syndrome kicked in, and he probably went up to at least a level 3 at that point. And the paranoia started to slowly envelop him, and Hanyu didn't help by constantly being there to say, sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, because Keiichi could faintly sense her presence and occasionally hear her. So Hanyu unintentionally made it worse by doing that. So is everyone in this village infected by the disease, that Hinamizawa syndrome? Yes, everyone's infected. Unlike hundreds of years ago, this disease is much weaker now. That's why people can survive even if they move far away or go somewhere far for a trip. But some people still get sick, right? I'll never leave this village again. Even if you do get sick, you can still control the illness yourself. It's very simple, yet very difficult. If you think you might be suspicious of someone, don't be. Continue to trust in them. But what if you, like, legitimately have a reason to be suspicious of someone? Because, like, that, I mean, yeah, that makes sense, the way she said it. It's like, oh, it's so simple, but, you know, difficult, because how could you go about living like that? Yes, like, oh yeah, trust everyone. Then you'd be very gullible. But you'd have to purposely be gullible, otherwise you'll go insane, because you never know if you get suspicious and it ends up triggering the disease as a result. And you become too suspicious of someone, that suspicion will degenerate into a persecution complex and it'll be too late. So long as everyone stays friendly and united, we will never have to worry about this disease. This disease starts with anxiety. Modern people don't believe in curses the way people long ago did. That might be why we're more tolerant to the disease. I see, then we should be fine. Yeah, we're friends and we're family. We would never suspect each other, except in some of the other arcs where you actually did, you know, suffer from the thing. I'm going to believe everything that you said today. You couldn't talk because you were afraid that the mountain dogs would hurt us, right? I nodded quietly. I don't want to think that the man and dogs have bugged this room. But if Okanagi overhears this conversation, they will definitely kill not only me, but all my friends tonight. That's true no matter who my enemy is. Well, it sounds as if we should all get ready for battle. Let's sum up the story. Someone might come and kill you, knowing that your death will cause chaos and destruction in the village. Is that correct? They'll definitely come for me. Are you sure they get rid of their trump card that easily? She's quite right. A trump card is like a pile of gold. Isn't it better to keep your hands on it? Satoko's eyes were still swollen, but she had stopped crying. Think about it, Satoko. If you have more than one trump card and you want to play one of them right away. That's true. It's more effective to have more than one hostage. One hostage is not as valuable as many of them. Anyway, we don't know anything for sure, and that means we can't be too optimistic. Everyone nodded in unison. What do you think about the mountain dogs? Do you think they're our enemies? That's not even the question. They're like wolves trying to watch after the sheep. Despicable and suspicious people as bad guys. We need to seek help from someone who has nothing to do with Tokyo. It's so ironic, isn't it? Like, Rika's going on, it's like, yeah, you just gotta not be suspicious of people and you'll be fine. What it is like, no, these people are clearly all suspicious. Unless she's just meaning, like, an outside of the village. Don't get too suspicious of people and you'll be fine. I agree, I think you made a good choice by seeking help from the police. Uchi-san is on our side, right? Yes, Suichi doesn't know everything yet, so he thinks that the culprit behind the curse of Oishiro-sama is targeting me. I think you should talk to Uchi-san too. We need help from some adults. What was the way I said that? Adults? Adults? That's pretty risky. What if they don't believe her and step away from the investigation? Okay, this is, I think still Rika then. She still talked to him. He said that he's going to retire this year and that is his last chance to avenge his old friend. I'm sure he'll believe any story no matter how wild. Or maybe it was Keiichi. I don't know. Yeah, he helped us when we were trying to save Satoko too. I mean Chan too, yeah. I think he'll remain on our side. Okay, let's talk to Oishi. Where's he now? He's out in Gifu Prefecture. He went to check on Takano's body. Oh. He was found in Gifu, right? Burned to death inside an oil drum. Why does he have to go there directly to check on her? There's a possibility that it might not be Takano's body. The Gifu Police Department isn't being very cooperative. You said that the mountain dog specialized in preserving secrets and manipulating information, right? That corpse is pretty suspicious. I don't think she's the kind of person who would die just from being burnt a little. Still possible that Irie is the bad guy and that he killed Takano. That's what Okonogi tried to make me believe. I kinda doubt that the coach is the mastermind. He's just not that kind of person. I do agree. He's very nice as long as you don't let him talk about maids. As the manager of the Hinamizawa fighters, I also think the coach is innocent. He's more like someone who could be easily used. Maybe he's too good of a guy. Oh, seems like everyone suspects Takano-san. Well, correctly to do so. I mean, Takano is a much more suspicious character, really. Even if we didn't know all the details, well, we still don't know all the details, but now we know that Takano is, you know, behind it. It's just we don't really know the full motives, full picture yet. But, you know, she's always been a pretty suspicious character throughout the series. But it just, like, you could always just, like, write it off as, oh, no, she's just a bit eccentric, you know? She's just interested in the curse and all that. But it seems more obvious in hindsight. But like I said, first time I read the novels, I was somewhat surprised that Takano was the one to be revealed to be behind it. Because I was like, oh, how the hell did I not freaking realize that it was so obvious? Well, we're just saying, if we compare the coach and Takano-san, you know... I don't understand why we bring up so that you hear that. What a weird laugh. Man, can you imagine someone actually having a laugh like that? Like, not like just putting on a fake stupid laugh like I just did, but that is like generally someone's real laugh. It creeped people out. Like, what the fuck was that? Everyone laughed as though we were in the middle of a club activity. If they're after my life, they'd kill everyone here. It's very possible that they'll all get involved in this mess, and they know that. That they could still laugh is really significant, I think. I started laughing along too. Now I wonder if this arc will be concluded before October, because, you know, October special and all, you know. And that's another thing with that, the Higurashi thing that I heard about is apparently for October as well. Not sure on that though. Don't check my word for it. I didn't really look much into it. But, you know, if this arc is still not concluded by the end of September here, then it'll be on hold till November because of an October special. And it'll probably will be anyway, even if it is completed, because, you know, the final part will be like where I put together a what was it called? The all cast review session that they had in the question arcs but not the answer arcs. So I, like, in the previous two answer arcs, I made my own because they're like, no, we gotta have all the characters just like chat about it, kind of like the After Helping Talk, but not really, because it's has a different style to it. But essentially doing that would be a pain in the ass, especially with shortcuts, because it was, you know, a pain in the ass even using it with Camtasia back in the day. But it's probably going to be even more of a pain in the ass with new editing, you know. So that part would probably be like for November, because I can't imagine we can get around to putting it all together by then until like later on. But whatever, I'm getting off topic. So that Takano-san's body was found in Gifu. Someone wanted to make it look like she killed Tomitake. They would hide her body somewhere nobody would ever find. Putting her body in the middle of the woods is like begging someone to come across it. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like they're trying to force an unidentified body to be Takano-san just because it was found outside the prefecture and the police here can't investigate further. That's the specialty of the mountain dogs, right? I think it's pretty obvious at this point. The mountain dogs are working for Takano-san, right? And the leader of the dogs is saying that the manager is pulling the strings. I bet Takano-san and them are working together. Tomitake-san died the same way he did, so that coach would be suspected. The way he did, I mean. But Tokyo is the only organization who would suspect the coach. Once to find the body of the true mastermind, Takano-san. Tokyo will suspect that the manager killed both of them. You see, this is a well-planned setup. But it's not perfect. Sounds like the mountain dogs are setting the coach up. Well, I think we should talk to coach directly. That's the best way to go about it. I mean, maybe not so, you know, bluntly there, Keiichi, because he's under watch of the mountain dogs. That's a good idea. What? I can tell if he's telling the truth or not just by looking into his eyes. That's a typo. Yeah, you're good at that, Renaissance. The mountain dogs are also running security on Irie right now. He might not be able to get on the phone. And, you know, they'd probably be able to hear who he's talking to. What? That sounds even more suspicious. I hope the coach isn't in danger right now. Me too. If I was a member of the mountain dogs and I was going to set him up, I'd kill him before he said something I didn't want him to say. It's all coming together now, isn't it? A dead person can't say anything. Huh. Wishi will return as soon as he takes care of business in Gifu. I don't know what time that will be, but he'll be here for sure. As everyone glanced at the clock. It was already past 6:30 p.m. and starting to get dark. No wonder I'm so hungry. We'd usually call it here if this was a normal day. Wait, it's 6:30 p.m.? They finished school and arrived there. I mean, freaking hell, when did they finish school and how many hours did Rika take to explain everything? I mean, Jesus Christ, how did that much time pass? Or did it take them a while to get there? I mean, what time did school finish for them there? How the hell does it go? I mean, I just don't get it. We'd usually call it here if this was a normal day, but everyone decided to stay until Wishi came back and discuss what to do. Can I use your phone, Rika-chan? I need to call my dad and let him know that I'm going to be late tonight. I need to call my mom too. I have to call Granny and tell her to order something for dinner tonight. You'll be in big trouble later. We have to get something to eat for those officers too. We can order some sushi. Everyone had a sensitive reaction to the word sushi. Their stomachs were empty after all. The same should be true of those officers too. I mean, they're probably not going to be complaining. They're like, hey, free food, yes! This is the best! Are we going to order something too, Rika? I don't feel we have to have that kind of money. Satoko, why don't you cook a stir-fry for everyone? What? I've never cooked for this many people. Satoko, stir-fry. I'd love to try it, as long as there's no fingers inside. Remember, was it... Let me just actually check here, which arc was that? It was the, third arc? What arc is that called? Higurashi, yeah, Higurashi. In that arc, Keiichi was like all suspicious about Satoko. He's just like, you can't possibly cook, you can't cook worth shit. And then she proved him wrong, and also proved that she's a better cook than him when Keiichi tried to do cooking and ended up like, it was a disaster. Good times. Satoko-chan and I want to eat your food too, I want to. At that point the phone rang. Wait, what? What was that? I serve her, I'd love to try as long as there's no fingers. Satoko-chan, I want to eat. Oh. Yeah. The way I read it just like completely made it seem like Satoko wanted to eat her food as well. Just like I should be like, Satoko-chan, I want to eat your food too. I want to. I obviously read it a bit wrong. Hello, this is Friday speaking. Oh, glad to hear you're still alive. Oh, glad to hear you're still alive. Sorry, I didn't realize who I was for a second. It's so easy. I finished up everything in Gifu and I'm heading towards Okiba right now. I'm calling from the gas station. What about Takano's body? We did it. We were right. Gifu made one incredible easy mistake on their paperwork. What a stubborn bunch. I really had to let them have it. Let me tell you, Takano and her vehicle are still missing. She may have some information regarding Tomataki's murder, so I'm just issuing a search warrant for her. I'm getting close to revealing a secret of the Kursawaya Shinsama. I'm going to solve this case. She sounded so motivated. He'd finally found the hint he'd so desperately wanted. Could he actually solve the case, though? You know, it's bound to be obvious that the mountain dogs have bugged her phone properly. So they're pretty much freaking getting the information here. Well, even if without that, they got the information that, you know, Ishii and the police at Okinawa were looking into the possibility of, you know, there being a fuck up with the body thing, like right as they were doing that. So they get the information pretty quickly. So it wouldn't really make a difference either way, would it? I'm looking forward to hearing your story. I'm entering your house with Kuma-chan, so please tell us whatever you know. You can talk to me about anything you can think of. Yes, I'm ready to tell you about everything. Oh my, I look forward to hearing it. I should be there in about an hour. Sounds crowded over there. Are your friends there with you? Yes, everyone came here to offer their help. I see. You got some wonderful friends. It's probably better for you to stay with them. Good way to keep the criminals at bay. Right, we're heading out. I'll see you soon. Was that Oichi-san? Yes, he's heading this way with that other detective. Oh, this is the first time this room will have so many people inside it. How many people will it be? There's 6 of us here, so 8 people? I hope our floor won't break. Oh, I'm the 9th person. And you. Were you listening to us? This is turning out to be very interesting. Do you think it'll be different this time? Yes, I'm sure. This time is different. Let's say that you're sure it would devastate you if nothing ended up changing. So, Hanyu, you still think that I'm dying today? I don't want you to die. I know what you're thinking. You don't want to believe everything you don't want to, because you don't want to be hurt. That way you'll never be let down. I'm not going to listen to your opinions anymore. You just stay there and watch like the bystander you are. Yes, I'm just a bystander. I'm still rooting for you. Rooting for me? Thanks. But are you sure you want to root for me? Are you sure you won't be hurt if I lose? Ow, don't be mean, Rika. We had a rather harmonious mood going. However, a feeling of unease was beginning to settle over us, as we realized what series this is.